Good afternoon. We've been following the ongoing incident in Memphis, Tennessee. We wanted to wait before we released a statement as a unified community of our thoughts and to provide an educated opinion. After viewing the video, my opinion is one of disbelief that this could happen and how did it happen. I was appalled and sickened after watching the video. I'm shocked and disappointed by the actions of these officers. As a law enforcement profession, we're held to a higher standard, and I believe we should be held to that higher standard. These officers betrayed their oath and their citizens. This is not how you treat people, period. We want to publicly condemn the actions of those former Memphis police officers. In Warren County, our law enforcement agencies strive to be part of our community, not work to divide our community. Officers and our deputies interact with the citizens of this county, and we collaborate to make it an excellent community to work, live, and to raise our children in a safe environment. Our job is to be public servants to our citizens. Our job as leaders in Warren County is to ensure our officers are well trained and understand the vision of interaction with our community. Law enforcement in Warren County works daily to ensure the safety of our citizens. We are sworn to protect and to serve this community, and we strive daily to meet those expectations for a safe county and city in which to live. Thank you. Sheriff Hightower.
Good. Over this past weekend, we witnessed the shocking video footage of Tyre Nichols being assaulted by multiple Memphis police officers. It was incomprehensible use of force. These actions performed by those wearing a police uniform are criminal and shameful to us who have worked tirelessly to build strong community relationships through decency, trust, honesty, and respect for human life. Provoking language and a failure to treat people as one would want to be treated is intolerable. We strive to have positive interactions with our community and believe mutual respect should stand front and center of every police interaction. The Memphis Police Department has taken action in the termination and prosecution of at least 5 former officers. This response is clear: no one is above the law, and everyone should be held accountable for their inactions, and the failure to adhere to the constitutional rights of citizens.
First, let me say on behalf of the Bowling Green Warren County NAACP, we offer our sincere condolences to Tyre Nichols' family and friends. This atrocity should have never happened, and this man should be alive and well and spending time with his family and friends and loved ones. On behalf of our branch of the NAACP, we would also like to condemn in the strongest way possible the actions of the officers involved in Mr. Nichols' death. What took place was a complete abuse of power and a lack of human decency. Those officers involved in his murder should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about this circumstance. We find it truly disgusting that anyone would use a badge as a way to threaten or harm another individual. It is imperative in these days that we're living in that we push and fight for justice for this young man and everyone who was a victim of police brutality. With that being said, we must also do what we can to make sure that those who are good police officers and those who do everything they can to improve our communities are not lumped in with the bad ones. We must hold our law enforcement agencies accountable, and we must make sure that we are doing this on a regular basis. We need to be proactively involved at every level with them. We need to regularly talk to our police chiefs, our sheriffs, and any other law enforcement officials. We need to engage in conversation with law enforcement to ask them questions so that way we know who is policing us. We cannot be afraid to call them out if we feel they are not doing their jobs. That is the only way we will stop this type of violence from surfacing within the ranks of the police force. Again, we demand justice for Tyre Nichols.
At the death of George Floyd, I stood and spoke publicly. At the death of Breonna Taylor, I spoke out. And so today, I stand here to speak out at the death of Tyre Nichols. I want to remind us, as my colleagues has reminded us today, this is an injustice. The death, those who were accused of perpetrating an injustice towards George and Brianna, they did not look like me. But today, those who are accused, the officers who are accused, look just like me. It serves to remind us today, brothers and sisters, that evil is an equal opportunity employer. The evil one does not discriminate. But I also remind us today, as the scriptures reminds us, to whom much is given, much is required. Much has been given to these officers, and now much must be required of those officers. But in closing, the same way I stood and offered a plea that we would extend compassion to others, today I remind you that even those who are accused, they have family. As we pray for the family of Tyre Nichols, I make a moral plea today that we would even pray for the family members of these officers. Thank you.